Hi, this is Representative Patrick Sheehan coming at you with a legislative update during the special session. It's Friday, February 17th, and wanted to talk with you today about a mortgage and foreclosure issue. We just received some information back from the joint state-federal foreclosure settlement, and this information is public right now, but not a whole lot of information about Oregon specifically. Was briefed just the other night by the Attorney General's Chief of Staff, and I wanted to let you know what's coming our way. There are four main areas to the joint state-federal foreclosure settlement, and you can read more about the actual national settlement at nationalmortgagesettlement.com. But I wanted to talk about Oregon specifically. It's $25 billion in settlement, and it's just with the mortgage carriers of Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi, and Ally. So if you have a mortgage or had a mortgage that was foreclosed under any of those, this applies to you. First and foremost, there is a settlement to the states for $2.75 billion. Oregon's portion of that is $30 million, and we're going to try to spend that on specific mortgage-related things. So some of it's going to go to direct financial assistance, some of it's going to go to counseling. This is what we have in mind for the project right now, so this could change. But any foreclosure prevention services, mediation, there are a lot of things that we're discussing right now for that money to go to. So that's $30 million that's coming directly to the state of Oregon to figure out what to do with. Now, in direct payments to borrowers, the second category we have is an actual settlement that will go out to anyone who was foreclosed on those five carriers. Again, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Citi, or Ally. Now, you're going to be able to apply for this, and we anticipate this will be about a month before the federal judge signs off on it, and all of these programs will become active. But when this comes in, you'll be able to apply, and we anticipate that you'll get a check for between $1,800 and $2,000 as a settlement for all of the things that these mortgage carriers were doing wrong. And again, you have to have been foreclosed on for this to happen. This doesn't stop you from having your own action against them if you want. What this stops is from the state's attorney generals from further action against these guys. Now, if they fail to do this in a timely manner, there's some timelines here that will result in a penalty of 25% of additional commitment. So if these mortgage servicers fail to reach their benchmarks in a timely manner, these awards are actually going to increase. So we would like to encourage all Oregonians to apply for these. The third is $3 billion federally in refinancing help for underwater borrowers. So what this means is they will actually help adjust principal down to market value. So we have $35 million coming into the state of Oregon for the purpose of adjusting property values and mortgages down to the actual market value. So if you bought a home and you financed $500,000 and the home right now is worth $350,000, you can apply for this program to have them reduce your principal down by $150,000. So this is a really big program, going to be a really big help for people who are underwater and need to get out of their house for relocation, for work, or just to move out of the neighborhood. This is a really good plan. Again, this is going to be available once the federal judge signs off on it, and what we anticipate will be about a month. The final piece, there's $17 billion in national foreclosure incentives. Now, how that's laid out isn't exactly public yet. I don't know the complete details of this, but the Oregon allocation is $224 million. One of the big things that this is going to allow is for help in short sales. So a short sale is when you owe more money on your house than it's worth, and the bank is being offered less money in order to satisfy the entire loan. So sometimes there's a gap there of $100,000, $200,000 that the bank has been hesitant to take. Well, now we've identified this pile of money, this $224 million, that they have to put into these programs. So if they're $200,000 down, and your home would qualify for a short sale, you'd probably be able to sell it for market value, and the banks would have to take that. So these are programs that are going to be available. There's a lot of talk about mortgage reform and things that are happening at the state level. Nothing at the state level is going to match this massive, massive federal award that was won by our Attorney General and another 48 Attorney Generals. There's one state opted out of this. I think it was Oklahoma. So this is a tremendous program. I'm very excited to get you the details when they fully come out, but I wanted to let you know because this is a big issue in Clackamas and Multnomah counties. I know a lot of constituents have contacted me, which you can still do. Contact me if you're having trouble with a foreclosure issue. I have relationships with a lot of these banks through the legislature, and a lot of times we can get you with a single source, and we can compel them to act in a manner that's a little bit quicker than you could get just on your own. So please feel free to call the office at 503-986-1451, or you can email me at rep.patricksheehan@state.or.us. I'm going to come back at you with more information from the legislative session. As of right now, each of us have 2 bills, and I think I'm one of the only people in the building left that's got both of my bill concepts are still alive. So we're going to fight through those. One has to do with direct funding of 911, which is going to be something that was asked for by public safety officers in Clackamas and Multnomah counties, and is going to be something that helps fund that service to a level that's not being funded right now due to some misappropriation of some funds. And this just ties it up in statute and makes it easier. Another really big one that I'm working on is House Bill 4090, which is a land use law that is going to say if you're in an adjacent jurisdiction to water and sewer services, but because of a number of things like a geographic impediment or a political decision, which is usually the case, that you can actually access those systems, that water system and that sewer system, to develop your land, which is inside the urban growth boundary, just like you would have if you were annexed into the city, or if you didn't have those political or geographic barriers in front of you. So it's governments sharing services, making things less expensive and less regulatory, which everybody likes. So I think that's about all that I have for you for today. So please feel free to contact my office for any reason. You can find me on Facebook or at patricksheehan.org. Thank you very much. Have a great day.